Well, after watching this film, I have learned one thing. If there's ever a day where I become catatonic for whatever reason, I have to make sure I have written in a diary, notepad, pamphlet, text, write it in the fucking snow in my urine, write it with my jizz on the wall, wrote somewhere, somehow, some way, some form. Well, I guess I'm doing now in this video. That again, if you ever find me catatonic, make sure to find a Sarah Michelle Gellar looking person, or Sarah herself, Buffy the Vampire Slayer herself. Come find me, take off her clothes, diddle her pussy in front of me, and then my catatonia will be cured. Because that's literally what happens here. There's a guy who's catatonic, she takes off her clothes, we don't see the goods of course. Then like 10 minutes later the guy's no longer catatonic. The power of pussy compels you. So that's the power of pussy. A woman just has to diddle herself in front of you, you're no longer catatonic. Cheers. The more you know, reading Rainbow. Now I should state this is a paid request from the movie reviewer next door. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, tier list rankings, random thoughts, any other movie review, whatever the case may be, PayPal is the best way to do it. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. So yeah, Veronika decides to die, but she doesn't. Came out in 2009. I had never ever heard of this film before. I can see why. I know there's some high reviews on IMDb. Well, I teach their own. I don't agree with that. I do agree with the Letterboxd, those reviews, which were not the most kind, and I can see why, because I agree with them. The words dull, boring, slow, drags, boring as fuck, dull as fuck, sleep-inducing. I was almost in a catatonic state by the end of this fucking movie. Because barely anything happens in this movie. It is boring as shit. And the dialogue is flat, and the acting is there. Unless you are the most die-hard Sarah Michelle Gellar fan, that's the only way you would get into this. I'm indifferent on Sarah Michelle Gellar, first and foremost. I'm indifferent. I saw Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the day. I remember liking it. I have not seen that show in forever. But I do remember not minding the show. She was fine in films like I Know We Did Last Summer, Scream 2, Daphne and Scooby-Doo's like whatever. Did I go out of my way to search for stuff starring Sarah Michelle Gellar? No. But did I mind her? No. I didn't. I've seen a lot worse. I think she did fine enough because I've seen pretty bad performances, actors, actresses. So, compared to those, this was fine. It was she's sad some more, and she's sad. She's a bit glad. Not the trash bad, but the glad. And then sad some more. Yells a few times. And then happier because, wow, I met this catatonic guy who I have a crush on now. Apparently the book, there was a bit more backstory on characters, and there's a bit more of a fuller, richer story. Here, it just played off as this really weak-ass, in my opinion, love story. I'm like, okay. So I never read the novel. I think it came out in 1998. The story, Sarah's depressed. She narrates on why she's depressed. Ultimately, she tries to overdose, and when she wakes up, she's in this asylum. The doctor seeing her is David Thewlis. David Thewlis was the bad guy in Dragonheart. He was in The Island of Dr. Moreau, the 90s one with Marlon Brando and Val Kilmer. He was, I guess, the lead good guy. He replaced Rob Morrow, who was on that TV show Northern Exposure. I guess, which, I don't remember the details. Something about Rob was there like a day or two, but like very quickly he bailed. He talked about a little bit on that documentary I saw, but not enough that, I don't know, I really wanted a more fuller, richer picture of his thought process during that short time. Anyway, but David Thewlis took over for him, and there you go. Now, when she wakes up, she's told that when she overdosed, she had a heart attack, something happened where something wasn't healed, something screwed up inside of her, so she's going to die probably within a few weeks from some aneurysm. So she only has a few weeks left. She meets a few people. Erika Christensen, I believe is her name. She's been in a few films like Swim Fan, among other stuff. That really doesn't go anywhere because she's pretty much, by the second half of the film, disappeared. Like, they do nothing else with her. Jonathan Tucker, who is in the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, he's been in other stuff. Jonathan Tucker plays the catatonic. Then throughout the film, it's her parents that had adopted her talk with her, and she discusses how, well, they discuss, she wanted to go to this place to play piano, to play music. That was her passion. But the parents who adopted her said, no, we want you to go to this other school so you can get some good paying jobs. Then she said, then she swims, then she plays the piano, then she wanders over here and over there. And then at one point, after seeing the catatonic guy a couple times, she smashes the piano, looks at him, takes off her clothes. You can't see anything. She's like, I'm not even going to do the faces because I don't want that clipped. You get the idea. An O face. I know what that looks like. You probably know what that looks like. If you don't, go find your local adult entertainment website that's not blocked by the government, and I'm sure you can figure it out. But you don't see the goods, because of course Sarah ain't going to show the goods. So that gets a fail on itself. So you don't have titties or ass of Sarah, so this gets a fail. Take a dump in the ditch just for that alone. If you don't make me wait all this goddamn time with this slow, draggy ass shit, at least let me see some titties and ass, maybe a little bit of bush, or even a bit shaved. You give us none of that. Bullshit. 0 out of 10. Dull, slow, boring. Within 10 minutes or so, next morning and whatever, he can talk. Because I guess, hey, if you see Sarah Michelle Gellar naked, you'll talk to. Her and him make doodly eyes at each other from time to time to time to time. He wants to leave. They won't let Jonathan Tucker leave. So there's a point they strap him down and put some drugs into him. Eventually, the two of them, the googly eyes, are enough to say fuck it, and they escape out of the asylum pretty fucking easily. They just walk outside, and here's a gate. They finagle. David Thewlis watches them and lets them go. Because apparently that's a-okay. They'll be fine and dandy with all the other shit. I'm sure that parents ain't gonna... the parents that, I don't know, put her in there was paying for the shit. They come visit. Where's she at? Why didn't you tell us? Well, I'm going to sue your ass, and there's going to be a fucking manhunt or something, because I want to see a body. Because apparently none of that's going to happen. I don't know. You tell me. I just know that shit happens in that world. One and her parents eventually come by and go, where's our daughter? Adopted daughter. Yeah, but she's our daughter. We're paying for this shit. Where the fuck is she? She escaped. She escaped. Why didn't you tell us? Either they don't be told soon or don't be told later, and they don't want someone to don't fucking find her. Just saying. I mean, David Thewlis can lie and say, I didn't see them escape, they escaped. But you were under your watch, accountability. Whether you quit or not, or whatever the fuck. So then, Jonathan Tucker and Sarah Michelle Gellar, they walk over here, they walk over there, they sit on a fucking bench, she sleeps. It seems like she dies, and then David Thewlis, who writes his letter to, like, his estranged wife or whatever, talks about how our injections had cured her heart condition, and he had lied, so she's not going to die. He lied to her because all people who try to end their lives, they'll do repeat attempts. But this way, she found something to live for, and each day that she wakes up and goes, I'm alive, she will cherish that. That will be most important. And she'll want to live the next day and the next day and next day. It was kind of his thesis, his epiphany, his hypothesis. And then the movie ends with the Sarah and Jonathan Tucker walking on a beach or something. That's the movie. Boring as shit. You don't really get to know what makes Sarah Michelle Gellar tick. I still don't know 100% as to why she wanted to end her life. Okay, she didn't get to play the fucking piano. I guess that's what it takes for some people, okay? Then fucking change and say, fuck it, I quit, I'm going to play the piano. But, what do I know? And then, like, the fact that her fucking Dylan of her vajayjay makes this guy snap out of his catatonia within, like, 24 hours or so. I'm like, okay. Must be some strong pussy. Just bring you to the land of the non-catatonists just by looking and... Or it was a strong smell. Maybe it was a strong smell that made his... things in his brain electrify. It's a pussy magnet. Well, it must be some greased pussy. Oh, that greased pussy, gonna smell it up the track, all around the sack. This one strong pussy gonna wake you up from the... from that coma. It's better than a soma. When the pussy's on the floor, it make you drop your drawers. Drop your fucking jaw and make you go caught, 'cause you're talking. Look at that pussy, gonna make you awake. Make you wait, then you bake and wait. I know I'm being stupid, but what is wrong? I mean, the other characters are fairly one note. The other patients she talks to, you barely get to know much about them. They're kind of just there for her, Sarah Michelle Gellar, to kind of talk to for a little bit and kind of look sad or go underwater, then swim for a bit or wander around and shit. Yeah, I don't really get this big character arc, depth of the character. The fact that just as something as, okay, she needed a guy she thought was hot, and now she doesn't want to end her life. Well, that's not really what it's about. I'm just saying that's what it seemed like. She found something to live for. This guy's dick. Her wondering what his dick tastes like. I don't know. Because eventually they do fuck. And again, you don't see anything. But I guess she needed a good guy to fuck. I guess that's what the... If you think you might want to end your life, hey, maybe you'll find a good guy to fuck. That's also, I mean, another Sarah Michelle Gellar's character. Like, hey, any Catatonia people around here? Diddle 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 diddle. Jeez, there's nothing else to say about the film because that's all that happens. There's no big depth. There's no. I kind of. It's. It fucking calls itself a psychological. There's nothing psychological about this movie. There's nothing like big weird dreams and nightmare scenarios and tension. There's really no tension at all. There's no big dramatic arc at all, other than will she talk to this guy, get this guy Catatonia to talk, I guess. She has a couple talks with David Thewlis, raises her voice a few times. Pretty much it. Fucking Whiplash. I don't know why I just thought of that film. With J.T. Simmons, that's more psychological. Just for, God, you talk to this guy, you're going in all states of psychological dissertations in your mind, talking to this motherfucker of a character that J.T. Simmons played in that movie. This, though... This was a waste of fucking time, a waste of a fucking movie. Again, unless you're the most gigantic Sarah Michelle Gellar fan, and even then, she doesn't show you the tits or the ass or the goods, so that's a fail in itself. So only for hardcore Sarah Michelle Gellar fans. But honestly, again, I found this very boring, very slow, very tedious, and really not much of else to talk about. Other than try to make a few stupid jokes. I wish YouTube wasn't so, prickly about stuff. Otherwise, I would say the power of Sarah Michelle Gellar's pussy will compel you. The power of pussy compels you. The power of pussy compels you. But YouTube wouldn't like that if I put that in the fucking title. So, take that for you will. Thanks for watching. Take care. I like to, I do this because it just makes me feel better with my brain. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.